Hello everyone, I welcome you all to this 30 days masterclass series on electric vehicle design using MATLAB Simulink. So this is Malaipan from Pantech Solutions. Today is day 5. We are going to discuss about power electronics introductions. I welcome you everyone. I welcome Maya, Mithun, Venkatari, Praveen, Sunil. Welcome participants. Welcome Irfan and Suraj, Bobby, Venkateshwara, welcome Guru, Vishnu Sharma, Aditya, warm welcome participants. Yes. Vaishali, Manoj Kumar, Puneet, Kubernath, welcome Rakesh, welcome, good evening Srikanth, very good evening Amit Varma, Rahul Sharma, very good evening. Mokash Tiwari, my PC is not supporting MATLAB. PC, you have to ensure whether the sufficient memory and OS. Actually, 10 Windows 10 OS definitely it will support. Better get support from the any network engineer or a PC computer engineer. Yes. So am I audible now? Am I audible now? Very good evening. Very good evening, participants. Am I audible now? Warm welcome, JK. Yes, very good evening. Vanakkam, Hari Kavin. Yes, thank you, Ashish. Thanks for your comment. Very good evening. Yes. Yeah, about the Pantech, Pantech is a educational equipments manufacturing company. So from Pantech, you can get any kind of lab equipments for electrical and electronics, IoT, robotics, related products. You can get it. And apart from this, you can get a support to build your own project. We have a variety of mentors. So if you are having a concept along with your components, then we will assist you how to build your own project. And our vision is to help 10 million students to learn this technology in easy way. So far, we have trained about 1.5 lakh students. So this year we have targeted 10 million students. Definitely, we will achieve that one. And yes, sir. I'm not able to see the driving app in MATLAB. See, for that one, you just go to MATLAB add-on tool and add manually. That is autonomous app. You have to add it, or else just change the version. Suppose if you are having a lowest version, then you cannot add it. So you have to change the version as of 19B or 20 or 21. So better change the version. For getting new MATLAB, just visit in YouTube. There are a lot of videos are there how to install the MATLAB. Assistance for the project, how much fee we need to pay. See, actually, there are a lot of supports are there. I have given the Google form in this video description box. So you please check. Yes, thank you, participants. I can't access the Excel sheet on LMS portal. It shows available on internship students only. Yes, the LMS portal is exclusively for the internship students. For the webinar students, you can access YouTube videos only. Yes, thank you. Very good evening. And see, actually, attendance form will be provided. Still, the people are struggling to submit the attendance form, so it will be provided at live chat at 7:30 p.m. And after the live, we will upload the same Google form in this video comment box as well as the description box. So don't rush up in the live chat, as well as you please ask your questions on the question and answer session. So please allow others to listen the class without any disturbances. And so this is a 30 days session, our target. And today we are into introduction to power electronics. So those who are all those who are all coming from other than electrical background, like can you anyone can you please comment your department name so that I can understand how much we can go slow. So because this is today's little bit theoretical concepts, so you should know, if you know this powertronic concepts very well, then easily you can grab this electrical vehicle concepts. So I recommend you everyone, please comment your department name in the comment box. Please comment your department name in the comment box. Electrical, mechanical, electronics, mechatronics. Yes, please see many of them automobile, mechanical. Yes, thank you participants. Electronics, mechanical. Yes, thank you. Yes, mechanical. Okay, actually, if you are being electrical engineering, then you may heard about the name called the powertronics, and mechanical and then automobile engineering students. I think this topic may be new to you. So you don't worry. So this is very simple electronics. If you know what is the principle of diode, then easily you can crack this powertronic concepts. So just follow this next 25 classes, then definitely you can develop any projects. See, actually, why we are insisting the powertronics in this session, in the sense, if you take any controlling applications, the powertronic is the mandatory, like a Python. Suppose if you want to activate any microcontroller, you should know any one coding platform, like assembly language or C++ language or any Python programming, right? So like that, if you want to control any gadgets, suppose if you take a mobile, so in the mobile there are LED display controller, and then volume controller, and variable power supply. So everything there is a powertronics. And similarly for the two-wheeler, four-wheeler, actually now the entire world is moving towards electric vehicle systems. In that case, powertronics is a mandatory technology, and to explore all these concepts. So that's why we have added, and then today I took only we are going to discuss about the introduction, that is the basic concept of the powertronics, right? And so this is a coupon code, you can use it for your reference. And today content is, we are going to discuss about what is a powertronics, what is a semiconductor, how it can be it is working, and where we are using these applications, these powertronics. And finally we can see some MATLAB examples. So have you installed the MATLAB? Some of people not installing the MATLAB, people are struggling. See, actually, if you anyone successfully installed the MATLAB, so you can comment the MATLAB link, and then where you downloaded, and where you got the stuff, and so you can mention your the link in this video comment box, so that others can use that link, same link, because many people are struggling to install the MATLAB. Suppose if you install the MATLAB in your laptop, and then if you are following the regular experiments, then definitely you can get a lot of stuffs about this electric vehicle technology. Yes. So yeah, many people installed. Some of the people are still struggling. Yeah, Mr. Karthik, still struggling. Yes. So yes, 2016 version. No, someone Sumant, you have not installed. Swami, yeah, Swami Nagesh laptop not available. Struggle to install the MATLAB software. Tushar. Yes, sir. So those were video is buffering lot. Now actually comfortably its signal strength is perfect. Yes. Attendance form will be provided, Mr. Raghu. Batteries. Offer code is about batch 1 EV. So please check. Trial version is enough. It's more than enough. Yeah, you please share your the exact working link in this comment box after the live, so that other people can get benefit. Mathiban, in the internship portal, you can download presentations and then WhatsApp group link for VEP group link. Older versions not recommended, because actually we are going to use Simscape components in next few classes. So to work the Simscape components, then you should have minimum 2018 or 19B. So that will be a good one. Yeah, MATLAB 20A, can we use it? Yeah, of course you can use it 20A. Yes, I have a question. Yes, Ashim Biswas, can you please mention your question? What's your question? Aditya, please start the class. Yeah, actually, anyhow, we have to recap the previous thing. Many people are struggling to install the MATLAB. So we have to provide the solutions for them also. Then only the class will be useful. Otherwise, simply just attend the class and then just is thrown away. It's not easy. Yes. Yeah, you can use cracked versions, but it's not advisable. Better keep a trial versions. So just visit the MATLAB and use the trial versions. Yes. And so what is the power electronics? The power electronics is nothing but it's a solid state electronic devices is going to control as well as the convert the power. If you have a AC power, you can convert the AC power into DC power with the solid state electronics. So what is a solid state electronics? So simply we can call it as a semiconductors, right? See, if you take a power electronics, see here you can apply an input power with the help of solid state switches. The controller will activate the solid state switch. So based on this controller, the output power has been enabled. See here, simply if you are applying the voltage to the circuit, suppose if you are applying voltage or power to the circuit, this converter will convert. So here the logical circuit will be placed. Simply we can call it in the technical terminology like a topology. For various different type of applications like AC to DC, DC to DC, we will discuss in the forthcoming slides. So the different type of configuration has been used in this converter block. This converter block will receive a control signal from the controller, right? So the control signal from the controller. See, the controller is nothing but there are two different type of controller. One is called analog controller and digital controller. So the analog controller, have you heard the name about a 555 timer? 555 timer. So before that BJT has been used, BJT and then UJT devices has been used. After the invention of the 555 timer, so the 555 timer is the very first controller in the digital technology. So in the 555 timer, so there will be two type of operations. One is called the astable as well as the monostable. For the astable operations, we can generate any kind of square pulses. So with the help of square pulses, we can activate the converter, right? So whenever you are generating the PWM for the converter, then the load is going to receive a desirable output voltage. See, input can be anything. Suppose if we take a AC is the input, so we can get an adjustable AC at the output side with the help of controller. Yes. So this is very simple. Meaning for this power electronic circuit. And see again here, see if you take this graph, if you are applying input at here, see this is the controller function. So the controller function will vary the control signal. So simply we can call it as a pulse width modulation. If you are changing this pulse width modulation, the output will be varied. So simply if you take your ceiling fan control applications, if you change the potentiometer in which is available on your wall socket, so there the PWM is going to vary. So based on the PWM variations, then the output voltage is also going to vary. right? So this is very simple power electronic applications which we are going to use in detail, and then we are going to verify with the MATLAB Simulink also. So I hope you have understood this basic working principle. If we vary the pulse width modulation, then we can get a variable output voltage. And this PWM variation is common for any applications like AC to AC, and then AC to DC, similarly DC to DC, and then DC to AC. Right? And so for getting this output voltage, we are going to use the switches. So switches nothing but the semiconductor switch. So generally we can understand what is a semiconductor. See, this is called ideal switch, like it's a mechanical switch. Suppose if you are pressing the switch, then what it will happen, the switch will get closed. Similarly, for the MOSFETs or IGBTs or SCR, so we can take any one of this example. If you are applying gate pulse at here, suppose if you are applying gate pulse at here, so what it will happen, whenever the gate pulse available, then the MOSFET will get closed. So in that case, the current flow may happen across, through this resistor. So when due to that variations, you may get output voltage. Right? So between this V0 to 0 voltage. Okay, so across these 2 points, you may get output voltage. Suppose if you are removing the output voltage, if you are removing the gate pulse, then you cannot get output voltage. Simply we can understand. Simply we can understand like a square pulse. Suppose if you are applying the square pulses, see, whenever you are applying the gate pulses, during that time only the output voltage will get enabled. Otherwise, the output voltage will not be available. Right? So this is very simple applications which is used in the power electronic applications. Is it clear? Is it clear? If you are clear, please comment in the comment box clear, so that we can understand the concepts. Is it clear? Can you please comment in the comment box? Is it clear? Comment in the comment box. Is it clear? Please comment in the comment box. Yeah, thank you participants. Thank you. Yes. Sanjay, can you வாங்க? Once again. Sanjay, stop off பண்ணிடலாம். Yeah. So now, see, actually take this animated graph. If you are applying gate pulse, if you are increasing the gate voltage, see here, see the voltage is going to vary from 0 to maximum. So suppose if you take a voltage, so the gain voltage, if you are increasing the voltage from 0 to maximum, so generally we can get these data, these specifications from the data sheets. I will show you how to check the gate voltages and all. If you are increasing the gate voltage from 0 to maximum, then inside the MOSFETs or IGBTs or SCR, whatever it may be, the connection, this is called electronic connection, can be established inside the devices. So generally we can call it as a depletion layer. So this depletion layer can be removed when you are applying the voltage between the gate as well as the source for the MOSFET. Similarly, for the SCR, if you are increasing the current through the gate, then the current establishment can be happen between anode to cathode. Right? This is the very simple mechanism to understand what is happening inside the microcontroller, inside the semiconductor switches. Right? So I think you have clearly understood these concepts. Yes, how to vary this one. So actually, this gate voltage is just to go to Google, and so if you take any data sheets, just to go to Google and type any MOSFET's device's name. So just take a MOSFET IRF like 460 IRF 460 and data sheet. Yes, actually we will discuss how to design a gate driver circuits and all in the gate driver section classes. So meantime we can discuss what is happening and how to understand the data sheets and all. See here, if you take a IRF 460, this is called a 500 voltage N channel MOSFET, and the current drain current, which is 20 ampere, 21 ampere is the maximum current which is allowable to carry from drain to source. See here, there are maximum rating, absolute maximum rating. Is it the screen is clear? Yes. So now I think you can easily view the graph. The continuous current, drain current is about 21 ampere, and similarly continuous when the temperature is at 25 degrees. Suppose if there is a temperature rise from 25 to 100 ampere, then in that situation you can handle up to 14 ampere only, right? And pulsed drain current, so you can go up to 84 ampere. See, for example, if you are going to apply if you are going to carry the current 21 ampere, so in that range, in that situation, you should have a temperature rise about maximum 25 ampere only. Suppose if your channel, particular device temperature is going to be in the higher range, like 50 degrees Celsius or 100 degrees Celsius, in that case you are going to allow only 14 ampere. And similarly, so this is called the continuous current. This is called continuous current, and the pulsed current nothing but this is the pulsed current. So the continuous current maximum rate will be 21 ampere, and the pulsed current, the maximum current will be about 80 ampere. 80 ampere, right? So again here the pulsed current, on time current must be less than, must be less than the off time value. So suppose if you are going to take this is a 10%, then the balance 90% you should allow to travel the current. So this is called pulsed current. So if your circuit current is 80 ampere pulsed current, then you can go up to 80 amps. If it is a straight line, then you are going to allow only 21 ampere, not more than that. And again here how to choose the current value, how to choose the MOSFETs and other kind of stuff we will discuss in the gate driver section. And with the help of MOSFETs, we are going to use in the power electronic converters. So now we should know what type of converters are available. See here, generally rectifier, the very first one, AC to DC, and similarly chopper or DC to DC converter. So the input is DC and then output is also going to DC with the variable output voltage. So when we change the PWM, then we can get a variable output voltage. And similarly DC to AC. So this is called the inverter. And again one more type of circuits also there, that is called the AC to AC. So at the time of rectifier section, we will discuss in detail about those things. Again, there are a lot of types are there, like cyclo converter, matrix converter, front end converters. So everything is there. But for introduction point, this is enough to understand the basic principle of the power electronics. And where we are going to use this circuit in the electric vehicle. See here in this electric vehicle, so first we are going to use this power electronic circuit in the charging station, and the next one, the onboard charger. In this onboard charger, the power electronic circuit only we are going to use it, and the inverter drive, that is called the powertrain. In the powertrain inverter, we are going to use this power electronic circuit. And similarly the power supply, in the EV there are a lot of other more models also there. As per our discussion earlier, we discussed about motors used, other than the E motor. like a power window, LED light control, and then infotainment and seat belt adjustments, and then your boot space opening. So everything we need an additional power supply. So for that power supply, again we have to use the power electronic circuit to get a desired output voltage. Only thing, the power range may vary, but the concept, everything will be similar kind of concepts. So this is the applications of the power electronics which we are going to use in the electric vehicle. So that's why we are worrying about the power electronic circuit. So if you are clear about the basic power electronic and what is happening inside the power electronic circuit and inside the MOSFETs and all everything, then you can easily grab this electric vehicle concepts. And what are all the types of switches? So generally we can call it as a diode, SCR, MOSFET, IGBT, GTO, and then SiC MOSFET. Other than this, lot of devices are also there, like GAN devices, and then few more devices also there. Actually, forget it. And so these are all the basic solid state switches which we are going to use it. And for these, manufacturers are like rectifiers, the Infineon, Microchip, and Philips, Motorola. So these are all the manufacturers of these diodes, these switches, right? So what is diode and then what is the SCR? So do you have any idea about that one? So what is diode and then what is SCR? Do you have any idea about it? See here, this is called basic diode symbol. Basic diode symbol. This is anode and cathode. Similarly, the SCR also there, similar kind of device only. Similar kind of device, anode and cathode, right? See here, the anode, the diode, nothing but whenever the diode is in the forward bias. What is the forward bias? If the anode terminal receive a positive voltage, cathode terminal receive a negative voltage, then it is called forward bias. See here, positive and negative. So which means that the diode is under the forward bias. Suppose if you are applying the negative voltage, here and then positive voltage here, then this is called reverse bias. So this is called reverse bias and this is called forward bias. And so now whenever the diode is in the forward bias, so which means during this condition, the diode automatically will carry the current from anode to cathode. So the depletion layer will get removed. If you are putting this diode under the reverse bias, then the depletion layer can be established. So in that case, the diode will act as a open switch. And similarly, in the SCR segment, again here there are additional component. So this is called gate terminal. So the difference between the diode and the SCR is nothing but, even though if the SCR is in the forward bias, it will wait to reach the gate current. It's a minimum level. So whenever you are applying gate current, then only the current can flow inside the via the SCR. Even though if it is a forward bias, if there is a gate current is 0, then the SCR won't conduct. If you are applying gate current, then the SCR will get conduct. So it will get act as a switch. Similarly, for the MOSFET, if you are applying voltage, gate voltage, that is the gate to source voltage, then it will act as a switch. Otherwise, it will get open switch. Right? So this is very basic working principle of the solid state switches. So now we are going to use this switch to get a desired output voltage. In this rectifier, generally we will use SCR, right? Because the SCR has a natural commutation facility. I will tell you what is a natural commutation in the demo example. Due to that principle, we are using that. Generally, we are using SCR for the rectifier applications, and for other applications, we will use a MOSFETs or IGBTs. because SCR needs a computation circuit to turn off the device, right? So in the MOSFET or IGBT, that is not required. So that's why we are using the those devices in the particular converters. And again, the applications, other few more applications, the bidirectional converter for the plug-in electric vehicles, bidirectional battery charger, and then integrated bidirectional converters. So these are all the additional applications of the power electronics which is used in the electric vehicle technology. So you can use it. So now again in this rectifier, so we can call it as a uncontrolled rectifier and then controlled rectifier. Again there are a lot of types are there. Again we will discuss in detail what is the controlled and the uncontrolled under the rectifier session also. So for simplicity purpose I am just exploring these concepts. Half wave rectifier, full wave rectifier. So we can call it as we can check with the MATLAB demo. So if you want to understand the MATLAB demo, so you should know what is sine wave and how we can realize the sine wave. See here, if you take your wall socket, the 230 voltage, right? So if you are keeping the multimeter inside the, across the wall socket 2 pin, then it will read, it will shows 230 voltage. So which means that RMS voltage, right? So this voltage. So if it reads 230 voltage, the multimeter, then it's called RMS voltage. But in the actual shape, like suppose if you are using a cathode ray oscilloscope, the CRO, if you are connecting that 2 pin across the 2 pin, then it will give you the shape voltage wave shape. So that shape will be like a sine waveform. Right? If it is a AC, we will call it as a RMS voltage. And then if it is a DC, then we can call it as a average voltage, right? And again here the maximum voltage or peak amplitude. So this is, if you take 1, then the RMS voltage will be V max divided by root 2. So or else you can call it as a 0.070, 0.707. And the average voltage for this symmetrical waveform, then 0.6365. For asymmetrical waveform, then average voltage we have to calculate it. So there are different formulas are there to calculate the average voltage for various applications. And other parameter called max, that is a time period. So this is the y-axis value, and similarly x-axis value is the time period. So this time period, if you are going to have a 50 Hertz output, so the 50 Hertz output, so the 230 voltage, our standard system is 230 voltage 50 Hertz. So this 50 Hertz is the time period for the one cycle. So what is the time period? 1 divided by f is the time period. So in that case 20 milliseconds is the time period for one complete cycle. So the complete cycle nothing but the voltage starts from 0 degree and then it rotates from the positive and then it reached 180 degree, from 180 to negative and then 360 degree. So generally we can call it as a electrical degree, right? So for the 20 degree 0 to 360 degree value will take to reach 20 milliseconds, right? So this is called another parameter, frequency. Similarly voltage. So just we have to realize this waveform, then only we can understand the working principle, and then we can generate a PWM for our various applications. And so what is the time period and all, you can call it easily. If you are getting a 50 Hertz, then one first period is 0 to 360 degree, so we can take a 20 milliseconds. So exactly half of the value is the 180 degree if you take a 360 degree per cycle. So now we have to calculate the time period for 1 degree. Suppose if you are going to take a 20 milliseconds at the 360 degree, so what is the time period for the 1 degree? So this is the 5.55 e power minus 5. So this is the time period for 1 degree. So now we have to calculate the firing angle for each and every degrees. So we just note this point. Now if you are going to have a 60 Hertz system, 60 hertz system. So can you comment what is the time period for one cycle? What is the time period for one cycle? Can you comment in the comment box? Simply you can use it 1 divided by 60, so that is a time period. And similarly, what is the time period for the 1 degree in the 60 hertz system? What is the time period for 1 degree for the 60 hertz system? For 50 hertz system, 5.55 e power minus 5. Similarly, for the 60 hertz system, what is the time period? You please comment in the comment box. Yes, Vishnu, correct, exactly. 1 divided by 60 is the total time period. Now you have to calculate what is the time period for 1 degree, not a 360 degree, 1 degree. Yes, Jubin. Yes, Shafi. Yeah, Simpson, correct, exactly, 60 hertz. That is a total time period. And time period for 1 degree. 1 degree time period for 60 hertz system. It won't be same, Mr. Ganesh. Just calculate it. I'm going to open the MATLAB. See here, 1 divided by 60, and so for the 360 degree, this is called 360 degree. So now we have to divide it by, you have to calculate this to 360 degree. So in that case, so 20 milliseconds, this is a 50 hertz system, so divided by 360 degree, right? So 0.0167 divided by 360. So this is the time period. 4.63 e power minus 5 is the time period for 1 degree in 60 hertz system, not a 50 hertz system. For 50 hertz system, 1 divided by 50 divided by 360. So that's it. So, 1 divided by 50 divided by 360. So 5.55 e power minus 5. So this is the exact time period for the 1 degree 50 hertz system. Right? I think you all got the point. Thanks for your comments. So now let us move to the next one. So what is a rectifier? What is the rectifier? See, generally if you are applying AC voltage to this input, the diode will carry the positive voltages only. The negative voltage will not be carried out, because during this negative cycle the diode will be in the reverse bias, right? So that's why this period will get omitted, and we may get only the positive cycle only, right? So there is no any negative off cycle. So that's why we are calling as a rectifier. And similarly, what is an uncontrolled rectifier and then controlled rectifier? In the uncontrolled rectifier, if you are keeping the diode, then it is called the uncontrolled rectifier, because we don't have a controlling option. So whatever you are applying the positive voltage, then straight away the positive voltage is going to carry it out to the load. Whereas in the controlled rectifier, we will have a controlling mechanism to control even though if the diode device is in the forward bias. Right? I will tell you how to change and other things. So here this is a earlier one is a half wave rectifier, and this is a full wave rectifier. So generally, if you take any microcontroller boards or development boards, so there will be a power supply section. So in the power supply section, we will use this kind of power diodes. So generally in the market, you can get this kind of devices. Just to take a Google full bridge rectifier. Yes, full bridge rectifier, 1 watt. Just type 1 watt. Yeah, see here, this is called a full bridge rectifier. You have to apply input here, and then you may get output at this 2 terminal. So it will be 4 terminal. So you can get it. So in the market, you can easily available it. So it's like a 5 to 10 rupees maximum in the market as of now. I'm not sure about it. Depends the local market. The price may vary, like a 5 to 10 rupees maximum. right? So this this block will help you to convert this circuit. So the working principle is, you can apply input at here, the output voltage you may get it from 0 to maximum, right? So now let us check what is a control rectifier. So instead of diode, we are going to keep the thyristor to do the same job. See here, we can vary the firing angle, then we can get output voltage with a controlled manner, right? So these are all the formulas which is available on the Bimbra book. Bimbra is the best book to learn basic power electronic circuits. Those who are all new to the power electronic concept, my recommendation is just buy the book and then read it. That's it. So simply you can easily understand all the concepts of the power electronics. And so 1 month internship you can get it, so you can use it. And we can, let us move to the MATLAB demo. Just open the MATLAB Simulink. Those who are all not installed the autonomous path, so go to get add-ons, try to install all the applications. Otherwise, while you install the MATLAB, better choose all the components, all the toolboxes. See here, you can use it, you can use autonomous. Yeah, so you have to install this toolbox. In this toolbox, then you can get a driving options. This toolbox you have to add it. So now let us move to the Simulink. We are going to develop a uncontrolled rectifier and then controlled rectifier. So go to Simulink, create a new block, and here go to library browser, open the library browser, and go to Simscape, and go to electrical, and go to specialized power systems. So here you can get the fundamental components, so electrical sources, electrical elements, and then power electronics, so everything you can get it. So now just let us take a electrical sources, AC voltage source. Just to take a AC voltage source. This is the one method. If you know the component name, you can search in the workspace. Just to choose the component and then drag into the workspace. So this is AC voltage source. And now double click the component. You can adjust the voltage, this block components. See here, if you are going to use the multimeter, the multimeter value will read 230 voltage. So now we have to apply a peak amplitude, 230 into square root 2, SQRT of 2, or else straight away you can apply 325 voltage, SQRT of 2, and frequency that is 50 Hertz. So now, which means that we have generated the 230 voltage. We have configured this block for the 230 voltage, right? And just to save the simulation. Day 5 experiment. Just to save the simulation. And so this is works under the Sim power system block sets. So we have to do some modifications on it, and take a diode block. Again, go to library browser, fundamental, and then select the power electronics. So here the power electronics, you can get all the components, diodes, GTO, ideal switch, IGBT, MOSFET. So all the components you can get it. See here the thyristor and detailed thyristor. So diode component, yeah. So just to take this diode component. So in the real time, in the diode, for the diode, you may get only two terminals. So one is called anode and another one is called the cathode. In the MATLAB, additional terminal will be there called the measurement terminal. So just to open and then disable this one, then you can easily understand. Alright, so we just connect it. So in the power and in the MATLAB, you have an option called the measurement block. So open the measurement block. Here we can measure voltage, how much voltage is available, how much current is going to the circuit. So everything we can analyze it. So for that we need a current measurement block as well as the voltage measurement block. So just to take the current measurement block and voltage measurement block. So now we have to measure the input voltage. Measure the input voltage. Just to connect the. So we have to measure the input voltage, and see it's a so input. Then we have to connect a load component, right? So for the load component, again go to library browser and take elements. And here there are two different type of components you can use it: series RLC branch and series RLC load. If your power circuit is a defined power circuit like a 100 wattage power supply or 500 wattage power supply or 1 kilowatt power supply, then you can take it as a series RLC load. And if you don't know the power wattage, right, in that case you can use it as a branch. So I am going to use it for the branch, series RLC branch. I am going to rotate the component. For rotating the component, Control R, press Control R. Press Control R and select R component. I am going to take it 230 voltage divided by 5 ampere. So this is the resistance value. So you can apply here. And now we have to measure the current, right? So see here, just to connect this current graph and voltage graph. So here we have connected. So this is the voltage block, and similarly take a voltage measurement block. Yes. And take a scope block. Already we know that a scope where the scope component will be available. Scope component where it will be available. Go to Simulink and sources. So here the scope block will be available. Sorry, sinks. Scope block will be available. Just to drag the scope. Yes. So now first we have to verify the input voltage and output voltage, and similarly output current. So now we have applied 3 input signals. So just open the scope and change the parameter. So then only we can view the output proper manner. Otherwise, all the graph will get will be available on the single display. Just to connect it, just change the layout and change the style also, so that you can view clear manner. Just change it. And signal 1 and change the dimensions, and similarly signal 2 change the dimension, and signal 3 change the dimension, so that we can easily view the output. For that purpose only, not other than that. So now we have one more important component called power guide. So in the Simscape elements, we have added the solver configuration, right? Similarly, we have to include the power guide block. So just double click it, type power guide. So this is a similar like a header file. Power guide. So this is a power guide block, right? So actually in the power guide block there are lot of settings are there, so we can explore one by one. So keep engaged with this entire forthcoming sessions also. So we will use some time for the continuous, and then we will use some time for the discrete block, but generally for the power electronic applications we will use a discrete block to get an accurate result. For continuous result, if there is a physical component, then we can use a continuous signal. Otherwise we can use it for the discrete device. So since we are going to use the power electronic circuit, so we need a more accurate sample type. So we are going to use the discrete block. And adjust the simulation time, just run it for 1 second. And input we have applied 50 hertz only, right? So 1 second is enough. So just run the simulation. Just run the simulation. Yeah, see here we have applied input voltage. So input is AC voltage, input is AC, output is DC. See here the output is maximum 325 voltage will be the peak voltage. And we have applied the resistive load. Again here we can use inductive load also. So generally for this type of applications we can use it L load also, right? So in that case you have to use L load or L load. If you are using the resistive, then the load will be ideal voltage. Whereas if you are going to use inductive load, then the voltage waveform may get differ. So I will show you what is the difference. Just change RL and keep 1 millisecond, 1 millihenry. So now we can check what is the changes. Yeah, see here nothing more change. We have to increase the load in inductance. So instead of 100 milliamp, 1000 milliamp, 100 milliamp. So the low output voltage may get affected, may vary. See here, this is called inductive effect. So generally, so this kind of negative voltage may vary, right? So that's why we have used the resistive load. So to avoid these negative voltages, we have to use the freewheeling diode to overcome this issue. So we will explore, we can explore one by one, so don't worry about it. So just use resistive load. You please practice this experiment to know these things. And similarly you have one more option called we have to measure the input current also. That we will discuss why we should measure the input current, what is a power factor, what is the power factor for the input SMPS, how we have to keep the power factor. So everything we have to know, we should know. So this is called half wave rectifier. Similarly we can measure, we can develop a full wave rectifier. So just remove the circuit, keep other things are same, and change the circuit connections, configurations. Just rotate Control R. Yeah, so this is the D1 and this is the D2, and similarly just select and then drag it. You can get additional components. Just connect as a bridge. And connect this block and this connections to this bridge and this connection to this bridge. So now we can get, earlier we get only half controlled waveform. So now we are going to get a fully controlled converter. So just connect input and then output. This is simple circuit, you can connect. Yeah, see here input is fully AC voltage, the output is fully controlled output voltage. The current is same thing, similar thing. Earlier it was a 0 voltage for the negative period. So now it is a fully controlled output voltage, fully rectified output voltage. So like that we can build our own rectifier, uncontrolled rectifier. So we can develop an uncontrolled rectifier also. So my recommendations, you please practice this entire experiments in your laptop or computer, so that you can get a clear idea about it. And so now in the MATLAB Simulink you have another option called universal bridge. See here, this is a simple four MOSFETs we are sorry four diodes we are connecting, right? Instead of that, you have another option in the power electronics. So just select the power electronic block and take universal bridge. See here, this is the universal bridge. Just select it, and you can remove all these things and keep it here. So this is a common for everyone. So single phase as well as the three phase. For single phase, we need 2 ohm, right? And again here you can change all the components, diodes, you can check it. So the earlier similar kind of output we can get with this block. If you are going for the three phase, then we have to use the three legs. Yes. So just to take this input. Now you can run the simulation. You may get the exact output voltage whatever you got it from the previous circuit. Yeah. Right. So like this, you can get the output. You can practice your own circuit. Is it clear? Thank you, Dheeraj. Thank you, Aditya. Thank you, Pankaj Sharma. Thanks for your comment. Freewheeling diode, across the load you have to connect the freewheeling diode. Why we are using power guide there? So power guide is nothing but it's a similar kind of header file. In your C scripting, you will add a header file, right? Similar like that in the since it's a power system block sets, so we have to add the power guide block. Thank you, Mr. Gautam. Thank you, Karan Ravi. Thank you, Karthik. Thank you, Lynn Swami. Yes, thank you, Pankaj. Ratur, Vasu, Rasul. Niveta, Raju, internship for internship. If we complete all the course video by 15 days, can we get a certificate? Yeah, it is possible, but now we are uploading only daily basis videos. So yeah, at any cost, you can get a internship certificate by September 23rd only. Yes. Thank you, Ramesh. Thanks for your comment. Sampath, this is like a similar like a header file, just header file. So we can explore more on the Power BI block on forthcoming classes. So please keep watch. Madhusudana Reddy, how do we know which is input and given output? So just to open the block. So this is called the input sector, and this is called output block of the universal bridge. Thank you. Why 2 voltage block? So this is to measure the input voltage as well as the output voltage. How to join internship program? See, actually the link is available. I will share you the link now. Just and EV master class. Yes. So just to click this. This is internship link. This is internship link. You can join here. Thank you. Yeah. So now you can ask your questions. So uncontrolled rectifier we can discuss tomorrow class. Sorry, control rectifier. how to post the attendance. You have to submit the attendance form, so which is available on the top of the chat. So please use it. Yes, sir, SiC MOSFET available in market. Generally, the SiC MOSFET will not be available, but from Pantech you can get it. Actually, it's again the quantity based device only you can get it. And SiC MOSFET actually in Mumbai, like Kalpesh. MR India, yeah, MR India, they are giving you the MOSFET devices. Similarly, in Chennai market, Nichani Electronics, Rectifier House, so these guys are having these devices. Against again, if you have a bulk quantity, they will give you that. For one or two pieces, you may not get output because you cannot get a market. So, as asked, is the experiment which we practice in MATLAB, do we have a submit on the LMS portal? See, actually here everything is not a mandatory. So the attendance only the mandatory. Why we are making this attendance mandatory for the webinar in the sense, we should know which email ID has presented. So at any point of time, we have to generate a certificate for respective email ID, right? So for that only we have make it. We made it as a mandatory. Other than this, not a mandatory. You just watch the video, then you can generate your certificate at your own convenient time. And see, in this 30 days class, actually personally, I experienced like learning behavior. Actually earlier I won't spend and I won't focus on this learning process not even more than 10 minutes, but now I'm going now I'm practicing that my focus level has been improved more than an hour, because this learning behavior, like if you invest your 45 minutes on daily basis, definitely that will come as a behavior. So I mean that the behavior will help you to acquire more skills, similar kind of this masterclass series. Right? That is the advantages. That's why we are regularly running this 45 minutes, including Saturdays and Sundays. Suppose if you skip say Saturdays and Sundays, then we may not able to experience that learning behavior, right? So try to attend the classes, and including Sundays also. Mr. Vikram Gaud, you can get all the classes in the LMS portal. Yeah, of course, we will use all the MOSFETs and NGPTs in the forthcoming classes. Everything is there. So, Mr. Gautam Kumar, please watch day 2 and then day 3 classes, which is still available on the YouTube. So, please check it. Yes, Mr. Arun Kumar Lakshmanan, we will discuss. Please tell me internship on EV class. We see first in the internship, so actually all this 30-day class has been 30 different topic we will discuss in detail about all those things. And yeah, see here you can get see here you can learn the concept at your own convenient time. and you can practice. Suppose if you are while you are practicing these concepts, if you are having any clarifications, then I will help you to get output. So for that one, we have given you the VIP WhatsApp VIP group. You can join there, and at the same time you can ask your queries in the LMS portal comment box. I will give you the answers. And similarly, you can get confirmed whether your output is correct or not. So for that, I will help you to develop your project. And once if you finish, then your skill definitely it will get improved. So this is in this manner only we have organized this internship, right? Under this internship scheme, you may get a internship completion certificate, not a participation, internship completion certificate, and you can download all the MATLAB files and then presentations and assignments, and at your own convenient time you can ask, you can attend the classes. So this is the internship facility. If you are interested, you can go ahead. So for that one, actually welcome code has been changed, so not a welcome code EV, batch 1 EV. So this is internship completion certificate. Yes. If you have any more questions, you please ask me. And so if you are if you enjoy this today class, so please share your video feedback to this number in WhatsApp. Definitely that video will motivate me a lot to work towards this content delivery, right? So my I request you everyone, if you enjoyed this video, and as well as if you have any more feedback, like if you want to add some of the content and everything, so you can share your video feedback to my WhatsApp number. Thank you. Thanks for your valuable time you have presented here, and thank you once again. If you have any more questions, you can submit your questions in the question box. I will give you the answers via email.